Eugene, are you game? Mic test, Eugene.
Yeah, game.
Okay.
Okay, so everybody, welcome to our 8th Wednesday Mapa Time session, KYC. Kumusta naman kayo dyan so far?
Mainit.
Ang init. Buti wala ako sa bubong, nagpapalipad ng drone.
Eugene, are you okay?
Okay, sige lang. Just sharing my screen.
Okay. Wow, daming tabs.
Okay, mabuhay. Again, welcome to our 8th Wednesday Mapa Time session. And as again, as like all other our previous sessions, this channel is recorded and live streamed to YouTube. So by attending this interactive channel, you allow us to broadcast, record, or reshare your public interactions. That means your audio, text chats, or screen shares during the session. And all information and content are provided as is and without guarantees of any kind. So basically, if you enable your camera or screen sharing, take the necessary precautions to safeguard your private and personal information. And we also have our code of conduct. Basically, we want to have an atmosphere free of abuse or harassment and characterized by courtesy and respect. To that end, Mapa Time organizers expects all attendees to conduct themselves in a manner that establishes an atmosphere free from discriminatory practices. So, full text is here. Just, I think, na-share naman yung link na doon sa slide so you can share the, find the full text of the code of conduct. So if you encounter any harassment or any breaches of our code of conduct, just send an email to osm.pilipinas+coc@gmail.com or contact me via the chat or on Telegram. So here are our links to our resources. So just visit the events page on the OSM Wiki or the KYC session deck. Na-post na ba yung link sa chat room? Okay, na-post na.
I'll post it.
Okay. So again, another note about Jitsi. By default, mics are turned off. And you can just toggle the mic to if you want to speak. Or if you want to talk longer or ask longer questions, just use the chat mode instead. And ito yung mga buttons natin. Basically, participation tools doon sa lower left, video conferencing tools sa middle bottom, and then other tools doon sa bottom right. Okay, again, this pad is online, has been shared on the chat box, so you can follow along. And for our session, we'll basically have a 70-minute mapa talk by Erwin regarding what KYC is. So marami nagtatanong, ano ba yung KYC? Alam ng iba, this is related sa know your customer ng mga bangko. But for our mapa time session, iba yung pag-uusapan natin dito. Okay, I'll turn you now over to Erwin.
Yes, hi. Thank you, Eugene. So, magandang gabi sa inyo lahat. Um, I'll start with sharing my deck first. Nasa chat box na yung link if you want to follow, or you can just watch it from the shared screen. Okay, so disclaimer. All views expressed during this part of the segment is mine alone, and does not reflect the views of any project or communities I'm involved in. And please expect the same disclaimer from respondents of this particular segment. So una sa lahat, gusto kong ipaalala sa inyo na this is our 8th session. Ako, pinanganak ako nung panahon na may Sesame Street. So, ito ang aking ginamit na image for today. Sa mga nakaraang session, kung kayo ay nakasubok umattend nito, madalas tayo ay nakafocus sa either mapping initiatives or tools that we can use for mapping in Openstreetmap. At naisip ko, para maiba itong session natin this time, ay gusto kong i-focus ang ating session tonight to a different kind of or segment of Openstreetmap. KYC. Sabi nga ni Eugene, kadalasan ina-associate KYC sa mga financial institutions because it's required by the central bank. So, knowing your customers. Pero ano ba kinalaman nito sa Openstreetmap? So, what's KYC? Pero magsimula muna tayo sa ano nga ba ang Openstreetmap? Ang Openstreetmap ba ay tungkol sa mga mapa at mga data visualization? Ang OSM ba ay tungkol sa mga datos na pwede nating makuha dito or pwede nating gamitin para makapag-create ng mga mapa at iba-ibang mga data views? Ang OSM ba ay tungkol sa the collective effort itself of editing and creating the map or the data? So this is the history of Openstreetmap in the Philippines in terms of numbers of editors since 2006. Ang OSM ba ay tungkol sa bilang ng mga taong nagmamapa buwan-buwan? O tungkol ba ito sa mga edits na ginagawa nila na makikita dito sa chart na to, kinukumpara iba't ibang buwan at ang dami ng contributions na ginagawa ng mga volunteers. Ang C sa KYC ay tungkol sa iyo. Ikaw na contributor sa Openstreetmap. Maraming paraan ng pagko-contribute sa OSM. Pero sa aking palagay, lahat ng mga databases, isa lang ang actual OSM database, mapa, visualization, at iba pang mga tools ay baliwala kung wala contributor. Lalo-lalo na yung mga nagko-contribute ng datos. Yung mappers na nag-create ng data. So para sa session natin tonight, isa sa mga matagal ko nang iniisip na gawin pero hindi magawa-gawa ay mag-highlight ng mga contributors dito sa Pilipinas sa Openstreetmap. So ngayon, meron akong concise version ng mga questions para lalo pa nating makilala ang isa't isa dito sa session natin tonight. Lalo na ngayon, napapansin ko na karamihan sa inyo ay dati na umattend na previous WeMap sessions. I guess tonight is the time to give ourselves the opportunity to know each other better So at the end of this segment, we would have a short Q&A, giving everyone an opportunity to ask questions to people who gets featured. Isa pa pala na feedback na natanggap namin na medyo consistent throughout the surveys we've been doing every after session is that many people find it interesting that the WeMap sessions are interactive. Hindi kayo, nung mga recent sessions, medyo passive at nanonood lang tayo. Pero previously, the participants in the session not only just watch, but can ask questions or contribute data, depende sa theme natin. So we will continue with the tradition of making this session interactive, and I'm hoping that everyone who is in this channel tonight is game and willing to participate. So to start our first to get the ball rolling, I want to call on Lay Lunas. Lay, are you there?
Hello.
Ayun, si Lay. Lay, okay bang i-enable mo yung camera mo if you're willing to do that?
Ay, wait lang.
Okay.
Hindi ready si Bakla.
Hindi ba ready? Surprise din. Na-surprise din siya.
Gulat ka, Mami.
Nakakagulat naman.
So sa mga bagong usernames daw, si Arnali, hello. Eman and Jess.
Hi, Nali.
Kamusta kayo?
Okay lang.
Okay, so let's start. Ang unang tanong para kay makikita
Hala,
dito.
ito pala yun. Nakabahan ako. Sana hindi technical.
Relax lang.
Okay.
This is not supposed to make you scared or feel panic, okay? Ano na to?
Okay.
Getting to know you session.
Nice.
So I'll share my screen so everyone will know what the question is about. Nasaan na yun? Kaya pala. Sorry. Technical issue. Okay. So our first question is, ay, ba't nawala? Yun. Kita ba? Hindi yata.
Wala.
Yun. Okay. So, babasahin ko na lang.
Oh, wow.
Tell us about yourself and what you do. Personal introduction.
Ay. Sa lahat ba to?
Yes, sa'yo.
Okay.
Kay Lay.
Hello. Ako si Lay. Mapper. Yun, mapper, member ng Ladies PH tsaka Philippines Flying Labs. And, yun lang.
Pwede mo bang sabihin kung ano ang ginagawa mo?
Ako ay GIS specialist.
Hindi mo na sasabihin saan. Okay lang.
Oh, okay na lang. Yun na lang. GIS specialist
Okay.
sa isang consultancy firm. Pero,
May pero.
Hindi, pero mas active ako ngayon sa Openstreetmap. Sa community. Sa mapping community.
Yan. Si Leia, isa sa mga nabanggit niya, passionate na active volunteer sa GeoLadies na isang sub-community within the very large OSM community in the Philippines. Sige, so how did you get started with Openstreetmap?
Andiyan ba si RK? Si
Sabi
RK.
ko ba? May shout out pa.
Shout out kay RK. Actually, kasi magkaka-office mate kami ni RK, ni JR, tsaka ni Ate Helen. Tapos, na-invite lang nila ako sa isang mapathon. Tapos, very fun yung people and map yung subject, yung pinag-usapan. So, very interested ako to join them. Tapos, ayun, nag-start na ako ng account ko and then na-meet yung iba't ibang mappers. Yun lang.
Pwede natatandaan mo ba kung anong mapathon to? What was the theme or...
Oh, no.
Okay lang kung hindi.
Basta naalala ko may isang mapathon sa Nepal. Pero sa RK nun eh. Sa may Katipunan, ang alam ko na din si Sir Maning ang kilala ko ng ano na yun.
So was it during the time of the Nepal earthquake? Is it one of those mapathons?
Yep. Isa yun doon. Yes. Pero
Okay.
naalala ko yung first edit ko ng Openstreetmap sa Cebu. Kasi sa Cebu ako based nun eh. Tapos try ko lang.
Ano to? After your mapathon or before your mapathon experience?
Before mapathon. Bari na-introduce muna sa akin yung Openstreetmap and then sumali ako sa mga mapathons.
Okay. So ano ang first edit mo?
Yun, sa Cebu. Sa Elizabeth Mall.
Dinagdag mo yung mall?
Basta along dun sa Osmeña, sa rotonda ng Osmeña sa Cebu City. Yun yung pinaka-memorable sa akin dahil yun yung first contribution ko sa may malapit sa Elizabeth Mall.
Okay,
Hindi
so
ko maalala kung ano yun.
check mo ba kung nandun pa yung edit mo?
Hindi na.
Okay, sige. So,
Hindi na naalala ko yun.
okay. What are the terms that you associate with OpenStreetMap?
Term?
No right or wrong answers here, so don't worry.
Community. Next. Open data.
Uh-huh. Do you have any more?
Open data, community, mapping.
Okay.
Yun lang.
Yun lang. Okay.
Naisip ko right now.
Don't worry. Relax.
Nakakaba naman to, parang
Relax lang. Ano to?
yung pala yung KYC.
Kaya nga, know your contributor. We're getting to know you better. So, do you like to map anything in particular? And if so, could you tell us why?
Just usually sama lang ako sa hot OSM.
Okay.
Usually doon. Pero kung hindi doon, within my area lang. Yun.
In your neighborhood?
My neighborhood. Yun lang. Update lang.
So, mga POIs, establishments.
Yep. POI roads
Okay.
and buildings.
Okay. Could you tell us why you like editing those things?
To share information to other people.
So that's the motivation.
Yep.
Then,
Para kung ano yung alam ko, that alam din nila.
okay. Sige. In your experience, I don't know how long you've been mapping or contributing to OSM, but what do you think is the biggest misconception about OpenStreetMap? So this would probably be about people who's not into OpenStreetMap or haven't contributed. And then
Maybe. Okay, sige. I think yung mapping background. Parang, if you want to try Openstreetmap, kailangan may mapping background kaya very technical kang person. Which in reality is not true.
Mhm.
Magsa-sign up ka lang and then it's easy to digitize features on the map. So, yun siguro. Yun napapansin ko.
Have you ever had to explain that to other people? Have you had a chance to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually ako din, yung simula, medyo hesitant ako to join. Kasi baka masyado siyang technical. Pero hindi naman, nung nagsimula na ako. Very straightforward. Ayun.
You're not
So, yun
scared
yung
considering that
impression.
you're a GIS specialist and then you got scared of
Wait, kasi naman yung nag-start ako, hindi pa siya big.
pwede
Hindi
ko
pa big
malaman kailan ka nag-start? So kung Nepal,
2013.
okay. Yan.
Then, nag-stop. And then, bumalik.
Mm. Okay. What do you like best about Openstreetmap in the Philippines?
Very helpful and strong yung community ng Openstreetmap. Sobrang na-appreciate ko yun. Especially nung bago pa ako, medyo nangangapa ako about mapping. So, pag may mga questions ako, very mabilis na yung sagot. And usually, comprehensive yung sagot. So, yun na-appreciate ko. And
So,
yung
channel yan.
sense of
Saan ka nagtatanong?
familiarity. Huh?
Saan ka nagtatanong nun?
Sa mga kilala ko sa'yo. Kay Faye, kay Nani.
DM, ganun ba? Or direct
DMs.
messaging?
Oo, DMs lang. DMs lang.
Okay.
Hindi pa ako ganun hindi pa ako ready magtanong sa group na yapa.
Okay. Sige. So as you may know, there are many ways of contributing to Openstreetmap. What are your favorite modes of contribution to OSM? And what do you think are the challenges of contributing to OSM in the Philippines?
Before sa ID editor lang ako. And then this year lang din ako natuto mag-JOSM dahil kay Eugene.
Kanino?
Kay Eugene, tinuruan niya ako.
Okay.
So after ko matuto mag-JOSM, parang na-appreciate ko na kung paano siya gamitin. Para ka lang nagdi-digitize sa QGIS o ArcGIS na very familiar ako. Ayun. And sorry, ano yung next? Ano yung isa pang question?
The second part of the question is, what do you think are the challenges of contributing to OSM in the Philippines?
Validation.
Validation?
I guess. Yun yung
Yes.
siguro masyadong maraming newbies. Wala masyado nag-validate nung mga edits nila. I guess. Yun yung medyo kailangan i-watch out. And yung mga yung mga nagpa-play around lang sa Openstreetmap, vandalizing stuff, editing, deleting roads, ganun.
Have you encountered any of those things?
Wala pa naman. Nakita ko lang sa forum. Pero meron akong concern na sa Openstreetmap, yung Emerald Avenue, tsaka F. Ortigas Jr. Sobrang kinokorek ko siya, pero bumabalik. So, I guess ako yung mali.
Ano yung nangyayari?
Ako yung bumabalik kasi Emerald Ave siya sa Ortigas. Pero F. Ortigas yung nakalagay. So, binapalitan ko. Tapos, bumabalik din. Nagre-revert din yung edit ko. So, I guess ako yung mali.
Ano to? Based on street signs? Or galing yung information?
As a road walker.
So nakikita mo based on that information?
And based din sa mga tao, pag sinabing Emerald Ave, automatic yun yung titingnan. Pero pagdating sa map, lalabas F. Ortigas Jr. So, nagkakalito yung mga tao.
Okay.
Parang lang yung Buendia versus Senator Hill Puyat Avenue.
Oo nga.
The old name versus the current
Yes.
one.
Yes.
Yun.
So, yun.
Palagay ko nasa out name yun.
Nasa?
Nasa out name niya.
Oh, hindi ko sure.
Okay.
Tapos okay.
Sige. Would it be possible for you to name a contribution you've done in OSM that you're quite proud of?
Super proud ako sa oh my gosh, wala.
Or memorable?
Memorable. Siguro dito sa UP, pag nag-edit ako ng streets and houses.
Okay. So,
So,
it's
yun yung
memorable in what
memorable
sense?
for me.
For you. Memorable
For
for
me.
you for no other reason.
Yes,
Okay.
for my daily life and for others. Although yung main campus ay detailed na siya and correct naman na yung mga annotations. Pero yung iba, like yung sa Heartbreak Hill, yung Area 2, so yun. Medyo fino-focus ko yung edits dun. Kasi mas familiar ako dun. And, yun. Familiar ako dun.
I think kapag you're involved in neighborhood mapping, it really helps if you're really familiar with what you're doing. And a lot of contributors in OSM are just like that. Dun sila sa mga favorite corners nila of their neck of the wood.
True. Sorry, proud din pala ako sa contribution ko ng yung mga trail runs ko.
Ayun, okay.
So, yun. So, in-upload ko siya sa Openstreetmap. In-upload ko din siya sa Map My Run. And so far, may mga gumagamit nun.
Talaga? Okay.
Yes.
May
mga views
mga tracks?
Yes, tracks.
Okay. So, yun. So, yeah, I remember one of your previous presentations was about your involvement in hiking and how you're combining that with mapping. Have you ever had any memorable boo-boos in the past in OSM?
Memorable.
Memorable because either they're major or caused a lot of distress to others. Meron ka bang ganong experience?
Sorry?
If you have committed any boo-boos or errors in OSM na memorable. I'm sure
so far,
everyone needs some. Wala naman.
So far, wala.
Okay.
So far, wala.
Okay, that's good.
Kinakabahan. So far, wala.
So far, wala kang gusto i-disclose?
So far, wala pang nagko-complain sa edits ko.
Okay.
Yung mga comments lang sa Hot OSM na you forgot this building, forgot this road. Okay. Yun lang naman.
So, sa
mga validators. Sa validators ng Hot OSM.
Next question. So, madalas ka pala mag-edit sa Hot OSM talaga?
Yep.
Okay. How do you think can Openstreetmap in the Philippines get better? Or do better?
Siguro Openstreetmap, the community, our community.
Ikaw, nasa sa'yo how you want to interpret the question. Kasi maraming communities, it might be technical, so it's up to you. How do you think can Openstreetmap get better or do better in the Philippines?
I guess as a community, more consolidated efforts for more impact,
Consolidated efforts for more impact.
I guess.
Can you elaborate? What do you mean by consolidated efforts?
Um, well, before, di ba, napag-usapan natin about yung MAPI.org.
Mhm.
So, I guess yun na yung next step for a better Openstreetmap Philippines community.
Okay. So,
And more validators.
more and more. Can the
More
org help
validators.
in that regard?
Yeah. Mag-host ng events and training, I guess.
Okay.
For fun, for pizza.
For pizza. Yeah.
For pizza and pancit.
Yes.
Di ba? Rally,
Tuloy
pizza.
natin yan. Walang, dahil sa quarantine, wala tayong mga papizza at papansit.
Oo, nga eh.
Could you name 3 local mapping initiatives and why they come to mind?
Mapping initiatives. Mapping initiatives. Geo Ladies, yung gagawin namin next week. Violence against women.
Okay.
And yung MapBex.
Mhm.
And yung hot OSM efforts.
Okay.
I guess.
And why did this come to mind? Why did these 3 initiatives come to mind? What is it about them that you really like?
Siguro, personally, same kasi yung advocacy or yung core or yung goal nila na gusto, I mean, same sila with me. And since member ako ng Geo Ladies, so yes, of course, ipupush ko siya. And MapBex also kasi LGBT spaces, kailangan natin yun, especially now. And the Hot OSM kasi more on disaster management, disaster preparedness, disaster-related digitizing mapping. So, it's very nice initiative and very strong yung efforts nila kasi global.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Nope.
No?
I'm good. I'm good.
Last few words. That's the final question.
Ano ba ang pa-plug ko?
Manood for next week.
Yes, for next week, Geo Ladies, join us. Mapping, Bausid, centers. And, ayun.
Ayun. So, is that it? Nothing more to add? So, maraming salamat, Ray. Ikaw ang aming unang interviewee for the session. At si Maning ang gusto magsalita pagkatapos. Teka muna, Maning. Thank you, Ray. Alam ko na madalian to. At mukhang nagpunta ka pa sa hairstylist na makeup artist mo.
Kakaligo ko lang.
Okay. Sige.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ray. Maning, you want to talk? Say anything?
No, nagkamali lang ako ng pindot.
Okay. Akala ko nun papapansin ka. Okay. So, ang susunod na part ng ating segment ay alamin kung sino yung susunod. At para gawin yan, ang gagawin natin ay mag-roll tayo ng dice. So, I'll click the spinner.
Wow.
Yan. Salamat kay Miko sa kanyang mahiwagang roleta. So, it's 6. How would we know kung sino yung number 6? Mabalik tayo sa ating Jitsi at magbibilang tayo kung sino yung pang-anim na tao dito sa listahan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, it's guest. Sino ka? Gamitin natin to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Eugene!
Si guest. Yay!
Dito na tayo bilang. Eugene, are you okay to be interviewed?
Okay.
Okay.
Wala tao dyan, lasiki.
Without the camera or with the camera?
Ano yan?
Well, okay lang, pero pangit talaga yung camera ko eh. So, wala kayong halos makikita.
Okay, sige. So, iwan na lang natin sa slide. Ano. Okay, the first question is, tell us about yourself and what you do.
So, I'm Eugene, a long-time contributor to Openstreetmap. So, I've been contributing since 2007. And basically, I develop software. Basically, halo-halo yan. App development, web development, at kung ano-ano pa. And before that, I also was a hardware engineer. So basically, since I studied computer engineering in college, I spent more than a decade in a company doing hardware development. So basically, designing and testing designs for chips, computer chips, na ginagamit sa mga cameras and printers.
Hindi mo na
So,
babanggitin yung brand?
Not important, irrelevant.
Okay, okay. Okay.
So for me, mapping is just a hobby. Unlike other people here na may geography or geodetic engineering background, mapping for me is really just a hobby.
Mhm. Okay. So, how did you get started with Openstreetmap?
Basically, I heard about Openstreetmap because I like to read a lot of articles and websites online. And I just stumbled onto Openstreetmap back in 2005, I think. But at that time, I thought that it was just European or United Kingdom only project. So I didn't think much of it. So fast forward 2 years later, I encountered OpenStreetMap again, and then I saw that it's actually a worldwide or global project. And because at that time, I was already a huge contributor to Wikipedia, and wala pang corresponding project similar to Wikipedia for mapping, I was immediately hooked to contribute OpenStreetMap. So basically, I started contributing in Southern Metro Manila kasi that's where I live. So Las Piñas and Muntinlupa by tracing building. Kasi at that time, sobrang blank pa talaga yung OSM in the Philippines. So basically, at that time, kaka-share pa lang ng Yahoo ng kanilang satellite imagery. So, yun yung ginagamit kong pang-trace at that time.
Mm-hmm. Sobrang tagal na, Yahoo pa.
Yes.
Okay. So, that's how you started with OSM. Do you associate any terms with the term OpenStreetMap? What words or phrases come to mind when you hear OpenStreetMap?
So, for me, primary association ko with OpenStreetMap is a form of digital volunteering. So, although I realized na some people contribute to OpenStreetMap as part of their work, OpenStreetMap really has its roots in volunteering. So when people think of volunteering, they usually think of packing relief goods or helping to build houses for Habitat for Humanity. But I would like to think that there's lots of ways that people can contribute, and by mapping in OpenStreetMap, that's also a form of volunteering. Basically sharing what you know about where you live or where you work and sharing that with other people.
Mhm. Yeah, so marami talagang opportunities to volunteer that is outside of the traditional realm, like pag sinabi may disaster, uh, giving money or helping out in relief centers. And Openstreetmap in the last several years has been heavily involved in all these efforts as with digital volunteers. Do you like mapping anything in particular? And if so, could you tell us why?
So one thing I really like to map is mapping points of interest. So um, if you look at my contributions, usually I map, usually yung nasa change set comment ko ay add update POIs. So basically, whenever I go out, tapos may napapansin ako, uy, may bagong restaurant, uy, may bagong tayong building or whatever. Uh, I have to convey, I have to, especially if I need to do something more urgent, I have to really stop myself from trying to uh, stop my travel and taking notes or taking pictures. But aside from that, I also like doing more fundamental editing, like trying to ensure that, um, for example, yung mga boundaries and mga place nodes of municipalities and cities are as complete as possible. Kasi I think na I think that these things are also as useful, if not more so than just having street names and points of interests on the map. Kasi you can use these boundaries eventually kung makomplete natin sila if ever for analysis. Like for example, yung mga gumagawa ng mga COVID maps, they're using other sources of boundary data, but I would really want for OpenStreetMap to be that definitive source of data na pwedeng gamitin for doing mapping mashups and visualizations.
Okay. Um, so you focus on POIs and foundational data. In your experience, in your long experience with OpenStreetMap, what do you think are or is the biggest misconception about the OSM project?
I think the biggest misconception is that yun nga, I think nabanggit na nila na it's just a geeky or only for people who are technically minded, but not really. As long as you are knowledgeable about the locations that you live in, work in, or travel to, you can contribute. You don't even have to have an account. You can even just add anonymous notes to OSM so that others can map it on your behalf. If you, for example, don't have the time or the tools at hand to add the data yourself. So basically, you don't need to have specialized training in order to be an effective contributor.
Yeah, that's right. I guess isa yun sa pinaka madalas na misconception about OSM. What do you like best about OpenStreetMap in the Philippines?
I think one thing I like best about OpenStreetMap in the Philippines is we're one of the really active and I would say, well knit and well organized communities in this part of the world. um, if uh, if you're familiar with how open how OpenStreetMap communities are formed or how they work in different parts of the world, as I have experienced. Usually, yung mga well-organized na mapping communities ay usually either nasa United States or in Europe, especially Germany. But some people from Europe are actually surprised na meron tayong really active community here in the Philippines na hindi nagsimula dahil sa, for example, dahil sa effort ng kunyari ng Humanitarian OpenStreetMap Philippines. So for example, in many places, for example, in many places in Africa, yung mga OSM communities nila were actually bootstrapped by HOT. But here in the Philippines, we've actually been mapping for more than 10 years, even before pa pumasok ang HOT, like sina Faye. not to say na hindi natin appreciate yung ginagawa ng HOT, but I'm proud na the community here in the Philippines has embraced OpenStreetMap for OpenStreetMap's sake and not just as a for other
Because of an external effort.
Yeah.
Okay. Could you elaborate on when you said it's quote unquote well organized? What do you mean by that?
Well, basically, we've been organizing a lot of events, workshops, and lectures, presentations over the past more than 10 years already. And this is unlike, for example, one of the other active communities here in Southeast Asia is Indonesia. But that is largely because nagsimula talaga doon yung isa sa mga pilot countries ng HOT ay Indonesia. So I'm not sure if the sort of activities that we're doing would have also occurred in Indonesia kung hindi nagsimula doon yung HOT. But yeah, I wouldn't say that we're super organized, but I guess we have we do have a lot of initiatives. Like for example, itong ginagawa natin ngayon, yung mga Wednesday Mapa Time. These are things that come from the community themselves na by our ideas through brainstorming and so on. At hindi siya dahil sa gusto siyang gawin ng isang company or gusto siyang gawin ng isang non-profit. We do things because we want to do them.
Okay. Yeah, interesting talaga na if you compare the OpenStreetMap community in the Philippines na organic yung medyo mas organic ang kung paano gumawa ng mga activities at paano siya lumaki in the last several years.
Shout out, Ren. I guess some other countries here in Asia na, or I would say na organic rin yung growth ng OpenStreetMap ay
Japan.
Taiwan and Japan.
Yeah, that's one interesting aspect of the Philippine community. Okay, so more question about you and OSM. What is your favorite mode of contribution to OpenStreetMap? And what do you think are the challenges of contributing to OSM in the Philippines?
So, mode of contribution, parang editor. I actually use a lot of editors. So,
pero answer the question the way you understand it.
Yeah. So, in terms of mapping, I use actually a lot of editors. Depende sa mood. Kung kailangan ko ng in-depth mapping, I would use JAWSOM. But for quick editing, I would use ID. But if I am on the road, I also use Vespucci or some other tool as well. Minsan minsan nagbo-bulk editing rin ako using yung level 0 na editor.
Mhm.
Mas madali. And also, on a different level, kung hindi mapping, I guess I contribute by helping to maintain or at least monitor our communication channels, sharing information on our social media accounts, and also helping to organize events as well, so that basically you don't if you
Eugene, did we lose you?
want to
Ayun.
events and not just by mapping, because by doing outreach to other people.
Okay, we're losing you. Eugene, are you still there? Mic test. Can anyone else hear me?
Yes.
Okay, we're wondering what happened here. Let's give him a few seconds.
Yeah,
Eugene, are you back? Okay, so mukhang ayaw na muna ituloy ni Eugene yung tanong. Pero for reference, this question is about not the kind of editor you're using, but more about how you feel you contribute to OSM. As you may know, there are many ways to contribute. You could be organizing events, you could be developing software, you could be validating data, or creating data directly. Eugene, are you back?
yeah. Hello,
Ayun,
can you?
okay. We can hear you now. So I was just explaining that the question is about not a particular editor, but more about how you contribute to the OSM project. Like, would you rather contribute as a mapper, creating data, but you mentioned that you were also involved in moderating the communication channels, helping organize events, and the question is really about that. If there's a favorite mode among those things you mentioned, in how you contribute to OS. So the next question is, do you have any particular contribution to OSM that you're most proud of?
Well, a few years ago, I'm most proud of making sure na yung Bonifacio Global City was as up to date as possible. but that was several years ago. Ngayon, nowadays, I no longer pass by that area, so medyo outdated na yung BGC sa Openstreetmap. But back then, I was proud na Openstreetmap had the most up-to-date map of Bonifacio Global City in any mapping service that you can think of.
So ngayon, you're not proud of anything these days?
Well, I'm also proud of the of our activities and events. For example, hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello.
We can hear you.
For example, yung pista ng mapa last year, I was proud of that.
I think we lost you again. Eugene, are you still there? Yep. Okay, we lost you there. Could you restate your...
Hello? Okay.
could you restate your answer about you got cut off with pista ng mapa?
Yun na yun.
Okay. So yun. Sige. So next question. Would you have any memorable boo-boos in the past? And could you tell us why they're memorable? Kung wala naman, we can skip this. Or if you're not willing to share about it. Hello, Eugene? Okay, I think we are having technical problems with Eugene. So what we'll do is we'll skip the several questions meant for Eugene and find another person to interview for now. So let's find the magic number. It's 2 this time. So if we go back to we're back to okay. So number 2 in the list is Nick. Do we have Nick here? Hello, Nick. Are you there?
Yeah.
Eugene. Okay, you're back. So, okay ka na ba? Did you have to disconnect?
Medyo nag-hang yung browser ko.
Okay. Sige. The question was, do you have any memorable boo-boos in the past? And could you tell us why they're memorable? Related to OSM. Jacob. Okay.
Yeah. Well, wala akong maisip na bubu talaga na sobrang mali. But I guess I can just share this anecdote that I had while doing a mapping party.
Uh-huh.
So back in 2010, I think, we had this Cavite road mapping party. So basically, we had 3 teams of people driving around Cavite to collect GPS tracks of the major highways in Cavite. And at that time, looking at satellite imagery, I thought that this particular road ay isang magandang daanan para kolekta ng data.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, it turned out to be a dirt road. Maputek. Maputek.
Tapos anong klase yung sasakyan mo? Sedan?
Yes. Sumabak And ano pa yun sedan pa yun hindi siya van.
So, na-stuck ba kayo?
Fortunately, hindi naman.
Okay. So, isang lesson about trusting the interpretation of the image.
Yes.
Okay. So, nung mga panahon na yon, uso pa ang sa komunidad ng Openstreetmap in the Philippines, yung mga mapping party that you really go out and collect data from the field.
Yes.
Okay. How do you think can OSM in the Philippines get better or do better?
Well, I do think that we're already doing good, but I guess one thing that we really need to do better is to encourage more people to share more data, because Filipinos in general do not really get the concept of open data.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we can make OpenStreetMap better in the Philippines if we can encourage more people to share their data. And that means evangelizing about what makes open data good. And nakikita naman natin yan sa, for example, doon sa mga sa data na sinishare ng DOH sa COVID cases na may mali-mali and may problems. So
Mhm.
those are the challenges that we need to encourage people to look into.
Do you have more concrete suggestions about how this could be done? Because I know that there are efforts in the past to do this, but how do you think can we actually do better than that?
Well, basically just more outreach events and effort as well. We This is a really a long term initiative na basically trying to convince people that open data is a good thing. And I guess one thing that we need to do more is to explain how this benefits the ordinary people, ordinary Filipinos. Kasi right now, what we're doing is encouraging people to map data, but maybe I guess maybe we need to also focus more on explaining or sharing stories on how this benefits people
Mhm.
more. Kasi I think yung mga ganong types of stories gets lost in the weeds.
Okay. Right. Sige. Mabuti na lang at ginagawa natin itong mga interview nito para ma-record at mabalikan itong mga ganitong mga suggestions. Can you name 3 local mapping initiatives and then tell us why they come to mind?
So local mapping initiatives. One is Miko's MapDex, because that's an example of self-starting initiative of using OpenStreetMap as a platform for helping under represented communities such as the LGBTQ plus community. Another is yung mental health awareness ni Andy.
Mhm.
And finally, isa sa mga gusto kong mapping initiatives na more, I guess, more traditional in terms of OpenStreetMap ay yung ginawang mapping ni Rally sa Mindoro, because that's really one of the more unique types of initiatives that I really appreciate. Basically, engaging with a local government unit and helping them to map their community.
Okay. So Rally, the name Rally mentioned is reference to Rally De Leon. So this is your last question. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Basically, just keep on mapping. We're in this for the long haul, and basically, as long as we're still alive and kicking, we'll be doing this for, I guess, forever. I hope.
Wow, forever. May forever ba? Okay. Right. So thank you for your time, Eugene. Very interesting thoughts. I'm glad that we got to ask you these questions. So pero hopefully hindi ka rin na pressure na we're doing this live and being recorded pa. But these are helpful for when we compile the ideas and thoughts that's being shared later when we want to formulate more projects in the Philippines. Okay, That's it. Thank you, Eugene. Ang susunod po nating interviewin ay hindi ko pa alam. So we'll just get the magic number. And it's 3. Balik tayo dito sa listahan. 3 is Dear Paul from the list. So, Paul, pwede ka bang ma-interview?
Okay.
So
Yes
you
naman
can
po.
share your screen if you want.
Good evening.
Yan, magandang gabi, Paul. So, okay, so the first question is, please introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
And by the way, in real life, I'm Paul Adrian Madriaga. And of course, I'm from Dasmania City, currently civil engineering student. Actually, I'm at the 4th year civil engineering studies on the approach to intern at the Lyceum of the Philippines University in Cavite campus.
So, okay, a reminder, baka because we're online, maybe we don't have to share the full details, mga privacy for privacy reasons. Just be conscious about disclosing personal information. Okay?
Yes, po.
Right. So how
Okay.
did you get started with Openstreetmap?
Well, it's all about the Openstreetmap origin story on my own. Nagsimula po ako sa mapping when I came into registered with the Openstreetmap from the certain hotel in General Trias City. Then, nag-update pa ako ng mapping from Gentry all the way to Dasma. Yung una pa lang po, ang weird ang editing behavior ko po until you have came to action na gabayan niyo po ako.
Okay. So ano pa, how were you introduced to OSM? Paano ba natagpuan yung OpenStreetMap project?
Sa Openstreetmap po, kung minsan po, ang daming mga kulang-kulang sa Streetmap nung time na po yon. And then I realized something na there's a need for, you know, open source na mapping po that could not rely on the copyrighted sources. Yun ang nice ko pong ma-emphasize dyan.
Okay. Yun naman talaga ang backbone.
And besides,
go ahead.
And besides sa background ng civil engineering po, you know, here's the deal. Yung sa mapping po, ang ginawang tracing ko po is the satellite imagery, which could be Bing and also then digital globe na ngayon Maxar na po siya.
Right. So what are the terms that you associate when you encounter the word OpenStreetMap? What are the terms that associate with that?
With the terms of OpenStreetMap po, yung word na open po would mean open source po siya. Ang word na street po, not necessarily na on the ground po siya. Plus the map could mean mapa po siya na kinakailangan pong mahanap ang direction from A to B.
I see. Okay, so does that say anything about your particular interest in mapping in OSMs about navigation or routing?
Sa ngayon po, when I have some sort of time, ang ginagawa ko po on the free time is yung kinukuhan ko pa po ng straight view image array po na mapilyae just to update it right away sa Openstreetmap, whether it's on public transportation or walking po. Kung minsan po sa mga jeeps po dyan na sinasakyan ko po na nasa frontal seat po, ang ginawa ko po, inopen ko po using the mobile phone device. And then, pag-press po ng start capture at gumagalaw po siya, then nagka-capture po ng ilang mga frame. Kung minsan po ang ibang driver po hindi pa po alam na may estudyante po pala na nagmamapa po sa daanan.
May mga interesting ba silang tanong sa'yo pag na-encounter ka nilang gano'n?
If I remember this properly, sa isang barangay po sa southern part ng Surigao del Norte, nandun ang laptop ko po, inedit ko po ng offline version ng isang barangay doon. Pag nakita po nila ang resulta po, matutuwa pa po ang mga magsasaka.
So ano sabi nila nung nakita nila?
Ikinagagalak ko pong sasabihin na natuwa po sila na may lalagay na po sa mapa.
Okay. Pero bukod sa pagmamapa, meron ba silang gamit dun sa datos? Yung community or yung local government ay nakumbinsi mo bang gamitin o mag-contribute mo ng data?
Sadly, hindi ko pa po nasusubukan dyan.
Okay. Sige. The next question is, do you like to map anything in particular? And could you tell us why, if that's so?
Yung sa mapping po sa ngayon, lahat ng mga public transportation, humanitarian infrastructure po, kasama po dyan ang mga build project. Ng pinaka-interesting po dyan ay yung Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange.
So why do you like to map these things? What motivates you to map these things?
On why I should map those things is because na kinakailangan po ng up-to-date mapping information that would serve the public, na kung minsan po yung sa mga ibang mga mapping sources po, kulang po ng impormasyon ng public transportation. Pero sa Openstreetmap po, almost completed na po siya. Then, ang primary source of editing po is JOSM.
Okay. In your experience, what's the biggest misconception about OpenStreetMap?
Misconception po. So
Yes.
about what are those other contributors na naunang nasabi po is all about yung sa background po. And then, yung mga tawag po dito. If I could say this one,
Mhm.
should it be?
What's that po?
Aside from background and also the education status po pala. That yun, background and educational status po rather.
Oh, the contributor.
Opo.
Okay. You were saying
When I found out na,
go ahead.
once again, wait. Go ahead.
No, continue what you were saying. Once you found out,
na hindi po kinakailangan, especially when it comes to background and educational status, yun po tuloy ay naging kasama na rin po sa advocacy na may mapa po ang ilan sa mga lugar na kulang-kulang po, most especially on the developing residential, commercial, industrial na subdivisions po kung tawagin.
right. So the things you mentioned earlier about misconceptions are your own misconceptions about OpenStreetMap before.
Opo.
Okay. Sige. So tell us what you like best about OpenStreetMap in the Philippines.
At dahil po dyan, nagsimula na po tuloy yung digital media po na startup pa lang po, which is Dearpool 24 Media, na kung saan ang lahat ng mga mapping or let me say photography po na street view, which is the Mapilyae po, matik na nai-upload po and then could be used for Openstreetmap po.
So are you
Which
saying
is
that the
good,
reason you like
good.
OpenStreetMap is that
is
you can also do other things related to your other interests and tie it up with OSM?
Opo.
Okay.
Yes.
So what are your favorite modes of contribution to OSM? So ganito yun. Sabi mo, you edit the map, you also collect street level imagery that is being used in OpenStreetMap. So yun yung several forms of modes of contributing to OSM. Do you like anything in particular? Meron ka bang paboritong mode of contribution? And what do you think are the challenges of contributing to OpenStreetMap?
Naging challenge ko po dito is ay yung time management po mismo.
Bakit?
It's because given that na may academics pa ako and then kung may vacant time po, I execute pa po ang mapping.
Well, I guess it's a skill that you can also acquire or learn from. Time management is a thing everyone needs anyway. So it's great to hear that you're encountering that challenge within the OSM, and I hope that you will eventually learn how to manage your time best within that context.
Yes.
Um, can you name a contribution to OpenStreetMap that you're most proud of? Your own contribution to OSM?
Anyways, yung home city po, which is Dasmaiñas City po talaga. Plus some parts of General Trias City. Then yung public transportation na lagi ko pong ni-research.
Mm-hmm. When you say you're researching, how do you do that?
For public transport po, binabase ko po sa mga tawag ko dito, transport company website po. Kung matatandaan niyo po, yung jeep ko na modernized na PUV po, meron po palang website na nandun po ang ruta. Ang ibang mga bus company po, such as the case of Philtranco, TLTV company, ni-rely po sa mga respective websites po nila.
Okay. Thank you for sharing about your techniques for researching data in OSM. Would you have any memorable boo-boos in the past? And could you tell us why they're memorable for you?
What could it be more memorable is this? Something na may personal po dito, but let me share this to you. 3rd of March 2020. Ang weird nga po, if I could say this publicly, due to
Okay, I'll stop you
privacy
first.
reasons.
Paul, I have to ask you a question before you answer this question. Has that anything to do with the ticket filed in the GitHub?
Yung sa GitHub po, what I have
Wait.
realized is this. Wait.
Huwag mo na mag-elaborate. Sadali. If this statement has to do with that, I will ask you to avoid saying anything about that particular ticket because that ticket is still open, and the other parties involved in the ticket is not in this room and unable to respond to it. So I will ask you not to use that particular example as an answer to this question. Kasi open pa yung ticket na yan. I'll ask you to choose something else if you have any, or we can skip this question.
Yung sa ticket naman po, what I have learned something is this. Yung tawag po dito, mas mahalaga po na mayroong local na collaboration po in which pinapangarap ko po yon na mayroong collab team po with the Openstreetmap guys na may hawak po ng drone, and then what I have realized is this. Kailangan pa pong hintayin yung tawag po dito, yung matapos po ang community quarantine so as to create a new memories na nandun po ang collaboration. And of course, another memory na outside of the GitHub ticket po is this. 3rd of March 2020 ang nangyari po after ng pagbisita po which is academically related sa DPWH District Engineering Office is that nag-surprise visit po ako sa isang supermarket just to meet the lady na nagtatrabaho po doon. And then, ang nangyari po, sandali ang pag-usap po plus a picture na nandun pa po ang kung ma-describe pang isang photo, on the right side is this. Ay yung oras po ng open ng isang supermarket. And then pag uwi po, you know what? I have lots of words to say.
Well, if you don't have more words to say, let's get to the next question. How do you think can OSM be better in the Philippines?
Just to be better for the Philippines.
How do you think can OSM in the Philippines get better?
More of contributions po when it comes to humanitarian needs.
So that's basically the same things Eugene was saying earlier and late.
Yes. Especially in times of disaster prevention. And of course, congestion mitigation measures.
Okay. How about naming 3 local mapping initiatives in the Philippines and tell us why they come to mind?
For mapping initiatives that I have joined, here are the following. Yung sa infrastructure po sa Pampanga na mga missing buildings po. Then yung mapa-aralan po. And all sorts of missing maps na kinakailangang may mapa po ng mas accurate and precise po.
Can you name other mapping initiatives? 2 more.
Anyways, another mapping initiatives na ginawa ko po is that yung mga tawag po dito, navigation support po, lalo na po sa mga gumagamit ng mobile device via OSMAND na kinakailangan pong malaman ang lane surfacing conditions po, whether it's of its good condition or intermediate or a bad one. Most commonly, ang challenge po ng initiative ko po is that kailangang may check po using either public transport or sometimes yung private vehicle po. Meron pong certain parts na iniwasan po kasi ng ma'am ko po dahil sa lubak na ibang bahagi po doon.
Okay, is there anything else you'd like to add?
That's all.
Okay, so thank you, Paul, for allowing us to interview you tonight and sharing your thoughts about some aspects of Openstreetmap in the Philippines. At least some of us here and those people who will be watching the video on YouTube will have some understanding of how the OSM communities like in the Philippines. And hopefully this is something that we can continue doing in other sessions or it's part of other sessions. So thank you, Paul.
You're welcome always.
Okay, thanks.
And by the way, may I speak for the invitation? Meron po kasi akong blog page sa FB.
Okay. Has that anything to do with Openstreetmap?
Nothing, but I would like to invite some
Okay,
of
sige.
the members that if you like to hear more of this story, don't forget to like, follow, and share Dear Paul 24 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and also on YouTube. Don't
Ayun.
forget to listen to the podcast called Dear Paul 24 in Focus on Spotify, Apple, and other podcast platforms. And that's all.
Ayun. So there's Paul plugging his several channels in various social media platforms. Thank you for sharing, Paul. So yun, pasyalan nyo na lang yung site na yan. So it's now 9 o'clock. And according to our program today, we'll only have 90 minutes. So I have a question for everyone. Are you still interested in interviewing one more participant for tonight? I'm hoping there's someone new that we could interview. Or would you like us to end the session already? Are there any volunteers?
We can do one more po. But
One
kung
more?
hindi na kaya, then that's okay with you po.
Okay. There's one. Are there objections? Meron bang volunteer na gustong magpa-interview or answer those questions? It's the same set of questions for everyone. Just raise your hands or indicate the same in the chat box.
I'll volunteer as tribute po.
Volunteer si Ian.
Opo. Iyan.
Ian. Okay, sige. So,
Yes.
right. Okay. So, Ian, maraming salamat for volunteering. We'll start with the first question, which is, tell us about yourself and what you do. Would you like to share your camera o camera shy ka?
Unfortunately, wala akong webcam right now.
Ah,
Yan yung problema ko.
Okay
for
lang, no problem. Not a problem.
Sure. Well, I'm Ian. I'm 28 years old. I currently live in San Pablo City, and currently I'm not working. Pero I used to work for a tech company for almost 3 years na po.
Yeah. So Ian is also from the South. And was mapping in OSM for quite a while actually. How did you get started in Openstreetmap, Ian?
Well, kind of weird yung story ko, pero there used to be a sister project called Free the Postcode kasi yung family ko, when we were trying to find out yung postcode sa UK for an unrelated project or initiative, nalaman na hindi accurate yung info na na-input ng family ko. So, yung Free the Postcode, it has yan yung dating sister project ng Openstreetmap kung hindi ako nagkakamali. Pero I decided to contribute to OSM almost 12 years ago. That was June of 2008. At that time, high school student pa lang ako.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
hindi masyadong accurate yung map data covering yung hometown ko. So what they decided to start street names based yung sa local knowledge, and at that time hindi covered ng Yahoo yung hometown ko. It was I think na cover ng Bing a few years after na na-contribute ako sa OSM.
Okay. For those people who are wondering, some of the mappers we got to interview tonight mentioned about Yahoo imagery. Before Bing imagery, before Digital Globe, before Maxar, when OSM was still starting, a lot of the imagery came from Yahoo. So yan yung indicator kapag medyo matagal na yung contributor, and they will mention Yahoo imagery. Ako hindi ko inabutan yung Yahoo image. So, Ian, what terms do you associate with Openstreetmap?
Initially, nakikita ko yung OSM as a parang similar project to Wikipedia, which is more on crowdfunding information at that time no nag-start ako. Pero I realized na later on, OSM is synonymous with yung parang revolution in terms of cartography na dati yung mga big mapping companies like yung halimbawa dito ay Easy Map or yung isang city atlas. Then there's also Google, there's also yung at that time I think Nokia, I think. Then so parang nag-revolutionize yung paggawa ng mapa in a sense na yung OSM has given a lot of power and responsibility sa mga people na you can make a map of your own community imbes na someone will guess that for you.
Okay. Thank you for that. Would you like to map anything in particular? And if so, could you tell us why?
Medyo iba-iba yung interest ko, pero I'll feature at least 2 or 3. Yung ginagawa ko before and also still do now is more on sa kilometer markers. So, minmap ko yung distance, kung saan yung destination, like for example, kilometer 82 is sa San Pablo. Then, minmap ko yung mga kilometer markers from my place to wherever I go.
Okay.
Para malaman ng mga tao kung malayo sila from certain place or malapit. And another one is yung mga fire hydrants sa hometown ko. Before it was featured in a local map, pero sinurvey ko for the past 10, almost 11, 12 years na minamapa ko yung mga fire hydrants and other related facilities dito sa hometown ko. And possibly other places like sa Los Baños. Like, there are no maps of fire hydrants except yung sa data ay galing sa OSM nowadays, kung hindi ako nakakamali.
Have you ever reached out to the local fire stations or BFP with regard to collaborating with them in that regard?
I considered that before kaso nga lang iba-iba yung mga priorities ko before and even until now. Maybe after yung quarantine season, baka makipag-consider ko na mag-team up sa fire department para local fire department sa Laguna and possibly Calabarzon para i-map yung mga firefighting facilities.
Okay. Yeah, that would be interesting because I have a similar experience with Davao City. And after that engagement, when they got reassigned to other the volunteers who joined the mapathon, after these people are reassigned to other areas, they eventually still continue contributing to OSM after that. So feeling ko that's something that is good for the OSM project because they are motivated to contribute again. Pero kulang sa follow-up, at least dun sa personal experience ko.
Before we go to the next question, nakalimutan ko sabihin na I used to map surveillance cameras at a certain time. Not necessarily na i-guide yung mga persons na monitor ka dito or something, pero I also map yung mga speed cameras along SLEX at one point.
Oh, okay. So that shows about what kind of data can be found in Openstreetmap and what drives a contributor to add them to OSM. Talagang iba-iba yung interest ng mga mappers. Some are thematic. Minsan naman, kung ano yung makita, talagang imamapa na lang. And that's one aspect of OSM that not a lot of people know about. They might think it's just about roads or buildings, but all of these other features that you can add in OSM is virtually limitless. Okay, next question. In your experience, what is the biggest misconception about OpenStreetMap?
Yung nakikita ko na misconception about OpenStreetMap ay may similar problems as with Wikipedia. Pero as with experience, there are dedicated teams within the OSM communities and yung OSM Foundation that deals with bad data such as vandalism. So yan yung isa sa mga misconceptions ko about OSM.
Okay. How long did you have this kind of understanding about OpenStreetMap?
Yung understanding na ganun sometimes based with experience with both communities since nakikita ko yung mga vinavandal sa Wikipedia, sometimes naka-crossover sa pag-vandal sa OSM, but in most cases, they don't connect.
Okay. What do you like best about OSM in the Philippines?
There are what I like about OSM in the Philippines is na you can not just here but in general, but you can also play around with the data kung paano gamitin yon for good, you can also use that to help a lot of people like yung sa mga minamap yung mga evacuation facilities, safe spaces for LGBT, tapos yung mga VAWC centers as done by other contributors.
Okay. So is the attraction more about what you can do in OSM?
Pardon po, di ko naget yung question po.
Okay. Yung sinasabi mo sa diba, the original question is, what do you like best about OpenStreetMap? And I'm wondering if the attraction is about because it allows you to do all these other things, the freedom to create data or edit this directly. Is that the attraction for you?
Yan din yung, yes, I believe na yan yung attraction na you can contribute data, you can reuse data under an open license, unlike yung mga commercial competitors dito.
Okay. What are your favorite modes of contribution to OpenStreetMap? And what do you think are the challenges of contributing to OSM in the Philippines?
Yung favorite, yung tools ko, ginagamit ko, most of the time is JOSM. Pero when trying to resurrect certain old objects, ang ginagamit ko ay Potlatch 1, yung pinakaunang editor na ginamit ko po. Uh, I also contribute by taking photos of places na pwede kong balikan in the future. Tapos ilalagay ko sa mapa using a JOSM plugin. Yung isang challenge na nakikita ko ay sa other contributors ay more on sa communication side, which is also yung problem ko admittedly. There are instances na I send messages, hindi ako sinisin lang, or yung message or sila nagsisend sa akin pero sinisin ko, which I'm trying to fix in ways that I can right now.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Can you name a contribution you've made to Openstreetmap that you're most proud of?
Yung mention ko before yung sa kilometer markers, which I'm proud of kasi wala masyadong ganong data I think wala masyadong mga ganong data outside of OSM kundi ako nagkakamali. Another one would be yung sa sorry, nahulog yung earphones ko.
Okay. Yeah.
To be honest, marami akong na-contribute sa other personal projects and initiatives, pati na rin sa OS Maparalan, kundi ako nagkakamali. I'm also proud of what I did to add school data sa mapa po.
Okay. Sorry. Would you have any memorable boo-boos that you can share with us and tell us why they're memorable for you?
Well, there was one incident na nahuli ako na isang resident. Nandun sa diary ko sa OSM na sinita ako na isang residente somewhere in Los Baños na akala masama yung intention ko, pero I tried to clear things out.
So you were doing field data collection?
Yeah, more on data collection. And yung isa pa, kasama ko, nung nagmamapa ko at another place in Los Baños, medyo naano ako ng mga aso because parang nasmelly na, hey, this person does not belong here. Sundan na natin. Di ako masyadong fearful sa mga aso, pero the dog smell fear. So, hindi ko sila pinapansin masyado.
Okay. How far is that from your own neighborhood? Or is that still within, you consider part of your neighborhood?
Well, more or less, Los Baños is kind of part of my neighborhood, lalo na nung sa college days ko po, because I was relatively free to roam, unlike na yung before and even after college days. Pero I also have an experience na I was assigned to create maps for various customers using OSM data. Pero it's not ayoko sabihin na not much effort, pero I feel that I could have done more yung sa paggawa ng mga maps using OSM data for various customers.
Okay. Ano to? Do you mind saying more about these customers? Ano yun? Anong klaseng engagement?
Mostly yung mission ng mga friends and relatives ko na the directions going to this place or that place. And sometimes nakikita ko yung isang venue ay wala pa sa OSM. So, minap ko po using allowable sources. Like, I can't use Google Street View for that.
Yeah.
Parang ganun.
Okay. How do you think can OSM in the Philippines get better or do better?
More on sa engagement with other potential stakeholders, like yung ginagawa sa Lupang Arenda, which is a very good example of what can be done despite yung mga initial apprehensions and issues and all that. So, pwede yung more on engagement with yung sa mga stakeholders na people na pwede na we can work and collaborate with. Like for example, yung mga firefighters, pati mga educators, and also yung mga NGOs.
Okay. Following up on your Arenda statement, did you have any personal apprehensions with regard to that project before it got started?
At the time, di ko masyadong iniisip yung situation sa Lupang Arenda, pero more on the sidelines ako at that time, to be honest. Hindi ako I didn't monitor much, to be honest.
Okay. Akala ko ano yun, your answer had a more personal connection to the question. So it was more of a general statement.
And to add to that, yung stakeholders, yung sa more on disaster response, kasi eventually there will be a lot of happenings related to natural and man-made disasters. So we might as well have yung data that we can contribute so that when the need arises, which I hope na hindi mangyari, na meron ng data that we can use to save lives and help others.
Yeah, I think everyone involved in Openstreetmap, especially with humanitarian efforts, have the same goals. Eventually, the data will be put to good use and help save lives in the future. Ian, can you name 3 local mapping initiatives and why they come to mind?
Yung una ay yung yung sa Maparala, sorry, nabulol ako, yung sa school mapping project natin ng community. Kasi nakikita ko na hindi lang valuable resource yung mga schools as places of education, specifically mga public schools. I mentioned before na yung mga schools ay polling precincts and in some cases evacuation centers. But for some barangays, lalo na sa mga not so urban areas, parang sentro ng buhay yung eskwelahan.
Yeah.
And another one is yung sa Mapbex. Lately na-realize ko na there are communities that want to contribute to OSM to add spaces where yung mga safe spaces and where they mahirap sabihin medyo I'm losing words, pero I think na magandang contribution yung ginagawa ng MapX team. And another one is VAWC facilities na you take those things for granted, yung mga VAWC facilities, but those are needed, lalo na sa mga families and persons na hindi naman personal experiences sa VAWC, pero they're there, nakikita mo sa mga barangay, pero they're not as well mapped compared to other facilities ng mga barangay. So, importante i-map yung mga VAWC facilities. And I also forgot to mention yung mga childcare and breastfeeding facilities. I think it was also documented before, kung di ako nagkakamali.
Kaninong effort yun? Wala akong matanda sa childcare. Meron breastfeeding? Yung childcare, I don't remember. Anyway, is there anything else you'd like to add, Ian?
Yung mapping anniversary will be in June. Hopefully by that time, matatapos na yung quarantine season. Pero my personal thoughts ako about that. I wish the entire OSM community more successes and more opportunities for growth ahead. Even though relatively young yung project ng OSM, not just dito sa Pilipinas, but through the entire world. And I also have my social media presence na kailangan kong more or less ayusin kasi medyo parang halo-halo na yung mga contents ko.
Okay. So thank you for sharing your thoughts with us, Ian.
You're welcome.
At maraming salamat din na nag-volunteer ka. I find all these ideas and thoughts you and the other folks have shared to be very interesting. So I'm going to make sure to review the recording later. So it's now 21:25, and we've gone past our declared session length for tonight. Pero I want to give everyone an opportunity to ask questions or share their inputs about tonight's session if you have any. Meron ba? Or if you have questions for any particular respondent earlier, this is the time to do that. Anyone? Okay, everyone's quiet, so I will take that as take that to mean that there are no questions. So I want to say belatedly welcome to everyone who joined us tonight. Tonight is an unusual session in the sense that we're not focused on any particular software or tool, but more about getting to know origin stories daw, sabi ni Dear Paul. Getting to know who are the other contributors to Openstreetmap in the Philippines. So if you are new to OSM, that gives you a glimpse of how the community is like. If you've been mapping for quite a while, contributing to OSM for quite a while, this is a chance to know one more aspect of that contributor you've been chatting with or giving comments on their change sets. I hope that we could refine this segment in future sessions. But for tonight, I just want to say thank you to first people who allowed to be interviewed, second for people who joined us tonight, and of course for contributing to Openstreetmap. Everyone plays many roles in the Openstreetmap community, and everyone tries to do their best in making OSM better, the data itself, or making people feel welcome to the community. So yun yung mga bagay na pwede nating pagtuunan. For tonight, unless there are questions, I'd like to end the session. But before we do that, let me just see if there are a few reminders for us. So for ito. Let me just share my screen. Okay, for as a reminder, wala pa pala tayong group feed. Pwede ba tayong may group photo? You can share your cameras if you want. Uy, ready na si Maning. Everyone. Ayan. So marami tayong mga familiar faces na. We see these people every week. Si Miko, marami kang mentions, Miko ha. Dapat ikaw ang i-interviewin natin next time. We'll have a special segment for you. Okay. Let's get share your cam. We'll take a photo now. On 3. Is everyone ready? Hindi pa ako nakakuha, sorry. Hello? Wala? Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Ay, ba't yan? Sorry, mali yung button na press ko. One more time. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Magkakulay tayo, sir.
Ha? Okay lang?
Magkakulay tayo, sir.
Okay, Nawala yung mga iba. Ba't nawawala yung mga tao? Puro ghost na.
Ayan na, okay na.
Ayun, one more time. Nawala yung mga tao eh. Oo. Smile. Si Miko lang ako nakikita. Okay, sige. That's it for tonight. Our session for next week is, nakikita ba? Is from our Geo ladies, Mapa Babae. They're going to be the featured session next week. So we hope to see you next Wednesday. We like to support these efforts by our Geo ladies. And their focus is with Vauci, right, Ale? Hello? Wala. O, sige. If you have time, I would appreciate your feedback about tonight's session, and you can add that in our survey for tonight, please. We try to incorporate all feedbacks that we receive in the survey. So ano yan, tuloy-tuloy na proseso. So feel free to add your comments and inputs in that form. And that's it for tonight. Are there any more questions? Gusto mo ba makapagkwentuhan? Ayaw na ni
None.
So yun na muna tayo ngayon. I hope you found the session interesting. So good night everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
Maraming salamat.
Thank you so very much.
Ray, maraming salamat ha. Ikaw ang nagsimula ng lahat. At congrats pala, lumabas na yung pangalan mo sa app ng 8x8.
Ano lang pala, clear cash.
Di ba yun yung matagal ko na sinasabi sa'yo?
Hindi ko alam kung paano eh. Tapos ngayon napilitan akong kalikutin phone ko.
Kailangan pala yung feature ka ba na mapilitin bakit na pinapagawa na ano sa'yo? Nico ha, we'll
Okay.
interview you one of these days. Andito mo ba si Nico?
Ay, wala. Wala na.
Wala na.
Okay. Bye.
Bye everyone, thanks.
Bye. See you next week.
See you next week.
Good
Lalo ka na
night.
late. You have to be there.
Yep.
Goodbye and take care, everyone.